There comes a quiet shift in life where things that once made sense, suddenly don't. Conversations feel empty, people feel distant, and even your own reactions begin to surprise you. It's not that the world changed overnight, it's that your perception did. You begin to notice patterns you ignored before, energies you couldn't feel earlier, and truths that were always there but hidden beneath comfort. This phase feels confusing because nothing outside looks different, yet everything inside you does. And in that silence, a realization begins to grow. Maybe you didn't change, maybe you just woke up. You start noticing things about people you never paid attention to before. Their words don't match their actions, their energy feels heavy, and their presence no longer brings peace. It's not judgment, it's awareness. You begin to understand intentions, not just behavior. And this realization hurts, because the people you once trusted now feel unfamiliar. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming clear. And clarity often feels like distance. Deep down, you realize the signs were always present, you just chose comfort over truth. There were moments when your intuition whispered, but you ignored it to keep things stable. Now those same moments replay in your mind with a different meaning. You begin to connect dots you never noticed before. It's like waking up from a long dream and suddenly understanding everything clearly. The truth didn't arrive today, it was always there, waiting for you to be ready. And now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. This awareness feels heavy, but it's also freeing in a strange way. There was once a person who trusted everyone around them without question. They believed in every word, every promise, every smile. But one day, reality unfolded in a way they never expected. The same people they relied on showed a completely different side. It wasn't loud or dramatic, it was quiet, slow, and undeniable. That moment didn't just break their trust, it changed the way they saw the world. And from that day on, they stopped looking at people the same way. You might see yourself in that story, because awakening often begins with disappointment. The pain you feel right now isn't weakness, it's awareness settling in. It's your heart adjusting to a truth your mind just accepted. It's uncomfortable because illusions were comforting. But growth never comes from comfort. It comes from seeing things exactly as they are. Without even trying, you begin to distance yourself from people and places. It's not intentional, it just happens naturally. Conversations feel forced, gatherings feel exhausting, and you crave solitude more than ever before. People might think you're changing or becoming distant, but they don't understand what's happening inside you. You're not running away from others, you're returning to yourself. And that journey requires space, silence, and honesty. At times, this distance feels lonely. You question if you're doing the right thing. But deep inside, there's a quiet peace that tells you, this is necessary. You're not losing people, you're losing illusions. There's a battle that starts within you, between who you used to be and who you're becoming. One part of you wants to go back to how things were, simple, easy, familiar. But another part of you refuses to ignore the truth anymore. This conflict creates confusion, overthinking, and emotional exhaustion. You feel stuck between two versions of yourself. Sometimes, you even wish you never realized all this. Because ignorance felt peaceful. But growth demands awareness, and awareness comes with discomfort. You're not broken, you're evolving. And every evolution feels like a small death of the old self. You slowly stop trying to make people understand you. Not because you can't, but because you realize not everyone is meant to. You conserve your energy instead of wasting it on explanations that fall on closed minds. Silence becomes your comfort. You observe more, speak less, and protect your peace at all costs. At first, this feels strange. You were once expressive, open, and emotionally available. But now, you choose depth over noise. And in that choice, you find a different kind of strength, one that doesn't need validation. Imagine someone slowly removing masks from every person around them. One by one, the faces they trusted begin to fade. What once looked real now feels staged. It's painful to accept that some connections were never genuine. But it's also a relief, because now you see clearly. This phase strips away everything that isn't aligned with your truth. Fake friendships, forced relationships, and empty connections begin to disappear. It feels like loss, but it's actually purification. Life isn't taking things away from you, it's making space for what's real. And even though it hurts, deep down you know, this had to happen. You begin to see life differently now. Things that once bothered you don't affect you the same way. You start valuing peace over attention, truth over comfort, and growth over approval. Your priorities shift quietly, but powerfully. You no longer chase, you attract. There's a calmness in you that wasn't there before. Not because life is perfect, but because you understand it better now. You're no longer reacting blindly, you're responding with awareness. And that changes everything. At the end of it all, you realize something simple yet powerful: you didn't change. You just removed the layers that weren't truly you. The illusions, the expectations, the false identities, all of it faded away. What remains is your true self. People may not understand this version of you. They may say you've become different. But that's okay. Because you're not here to be understood by everyone, you're here to be real with yourself. This journey isn't easy. But it's honest. And in a world full of illusions, honesty is rare. You didn't change, you finally saw the truth.